Welcome to Office 24 by 7. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at pivot reports, what they are, how they work, why they're useful, and how you can configure them inside Office 24 by 7 to generate the insights you need. Before we go deeper into pivot reports, I recommend watching our earlier video on how to create and customize table reports in the application. The link to that video is available above or in the description, and going through it will help you understand the foundation before exploring pivot-level analysis. Now, let's talk about pivot reports in detail. Pivot reports play a major role in analyzing large sets of data because they allow you to view information from multiple angles, rearrange fields, and instantly summarize metrics across different dimensions. Pivot reports are essentially dynamic analytical tables that allow you to slice and drill down into your data. They help you group, categorize, and compare data points such as lead counts, ticket statuses, deal values, call volumes, or any other metrics available across your objects. Because pivot reports are highly customizable, you can configure them to reflect the exact type of information you want to monitor, whether it's performance trends, activity distribution, source-level patterns, agent contribution, or date-wise summaries. The key strength of pivot reports is that they don't lock you into a fixed structure. You can reorganize them at any point to get new perspectives, which makes them extremely useful for real-time decision-making. Let's now move into how these pivot reports can be configured inside Office 24 by 7. On the screen, you'll see that I've already created multiple pivot reports across different objects, such as tickets, leads, consignments, and more. Each of these reports is tailored to show specific metrics from those objects. For instance, under the Tickets object, I've created a pivot report called Channel Source Ticket Performance Report. This particular report helps analyze ticket performance based on both the channel from which the ticket came in and the exact source within that channel. Along with that, the report also shows the current status of the tickets, giving you a clear understanding of how each channel or source is performing and where your support operations may require attention. Let's open this report and walk through the configuration so you can see how it's set up. To do that, I'll click the Action button next to the report. You'll notice several options such as Edit, View, Download, and Delete. I'm going to select Edit so that we can look at all the configured fields inside the pivot. In the report configuration, you can pick columns not only from the object on which you are creating the report, but also from other objects through lookup relationships. This means you can pull in relevant fields from activities, contacts, accounts, leads, deals, or any other connected object to understand the complete context behind each ticket. So instead of looking at a ticket in isolation, you can view additional information associated with it. In this example, you can see that the selected fields come not just from the ticket object, but also from contacts, accounts, leads, and deals. This allows you to see a complete picture for every ticket by combining all related details in one place. To add fields, you simply click on the ones you need, and they instantly appear in the Fields section of the report. Later, you can decide which of these fields should be placed in the rows or columns, based on the way you want the report to be structured. You can drag and drop fields into the Rows section or the Columns section to visualize your data accordingly. One important point to remember is that pivot reports work only with drop-down fields when it comes to grouping. Only drop-down fields can be placed in the rows and columns sections because grouping is based on predefined values. That is why fields like ticket source, ticket status, category, and channel work perfectly. I've placed them in the rows section here, and based on that, the pivot table displays the total number of tickets and their distribution across each value. For example, this report shows that there are 20 tickets in total. Since I placed the ticket source field in the rows section, I can immediately see how many tickets came through each source. These may include calls, direct submissions, email, forms, and WhatsApp. Against each source, you can easily see the breakdown of statuses, categories, and channels. For instance, 5 tickets came from calls. Within those 5, 1 is closed, 3 are on hold, and 1 is resolved. If I go deeper into the 3 on hold tickets, 2 belong to the billing and payment category, and 1 is a technical issue. If I want to see from which channel these on-hold billing and payment tickets were raised, the report shows that one came through API integration and one came through WhatsApp. You can review similar details for direct, email, form, and WhatsApp sources as well. Right now, we're viewing this data in the rows section. If you want to switch your perspective and view the same information horizontally, you can simply drag a field from the rows section and drop it into the columns section. When I do that with the ticket source field, the entire structure changes and the ticket sources appear as columns. This lets me look at the same report from a different angle. Next, I'm picking other fields such as ticket source, category, and channel, and placing them in the columns section along with their group count. Once I move these fields, the report instantly rearranges to show sources like call, direct, email, form, and WhatsApp in separate columns. For each of these sources, I can see the corresponding statuses, categories, and channels along with their group counts. It becomes very easy to compare performance across different sources. If you want to simplify the report by removing some of the groupings, you can do that through the grouping and aggregation option. When I open it and remove the groupings for status and category, the report updates to show only source and channel level information. This gives you full flexibility to decide how much detail you want to see and how you want your data to be structured. In addition to this, you can drill down into any group count to view the underlying records. For example, under the direct source, there are certain tickets submitted through the phone channel. When I click on the number 3, I immediately see the list of those 3 tickets along with all their field values. Ticket number, ID, channel, category, issue type, priority, and anything else I had added earlier to the field section. These are the exact fields I had dragged and dropped during the pivot creation. Similarly, if I click on tickets raised through the API channel under the call source, I can view their complete details as well. If you want to download the details of the records shown, you can use the download option, which exports them into an Excel file for offline review. You can rearrange fields to appear in rows or columns, depending on how you want to analyze your dataset. For instance, I can place channel in the columns and ticket source and group count in the rows, which shows me how many tickets from each source came through each channel. The drag and drop interface makes this very intuitive. You can export the entire pivot table to CSV or Excel, and it will be downloaded exactly in the structure you have chosen in the report panel. Once your configuration is complete, you can save the report by clicking the Save button and entering a title and description. Similarly, I have created other pivot reports like Agent Performance, where I'm viewing lead statuses assigned to each agent. I can instantly see how many leads each agent has in each status. I can click on any value to see the underlying records and download them. Another report I've created is called Conversion Efficiency, where I've used fields like lead status, lead source, and group count. This helps me understand which sources are contributing to which statuses and how many leads are in each stage. Again, clicking on any group count opens the full list of records. Overall, pivot reports give you a dynamic and powerful way to analyze your data. You can drag and drop fields, rearrange rows and columns, drill into group counts, use grouping and aggregation, pull in fields from other objects, export the data, and customize the report exactly the way you want. They help you visualize your records from multiple dimensions so you get a clear and structured understanding of what's happening across tickets, leads, deals, calls, or any other object. Thank you for watching.